Sister Kos, do you remember that just last week you were telling your friend, this man is so ugly. His head is big. Yeah, I don't see how I can ever be attracted to a man like that. And then today you went to work, and all of a sudden, the same man that you thought his head was big last week, and he's looking like the finest man on earth. In fact, you're just considering like maybe it won't be such a bad idea to have this baby, Sabi. Don't worry. If this is happening to you, it's very normal. Your house witches are not doing anything. There's a very likely possibility that you're within your fertile window or you're ovulating. So let's talk about ovulation. Okay. Ovulation is the second or third, depending on how you're counting it, phase of the menstrual cycle. So after the follicular phase, where your body has prepared the place for the baby that they want to have. Now, you're going to release an egg. Okay. So what will happen is that the pituitary gland, that is the gland in your head that initially told the egg to mature. Okay. So now it will release another hormone called the luteinizing hormone. When the luteinizing hormone is released, what it does is that by this time, the follicle would have grown and become a mature egg. So what the luteinizing hormone will now do is that it will now tell the ovary to release the egg so that the egg will come out. Okay. So we call that an ovum, the mature one. So when the ovum, that is one, if it's more than one, we call them ova. So when the ovum is released, that is what you call ovulation. And now that the ovum has come out, if a sperm meets the ovum, that is the right sperm that the ovum will select. If the sperm meets the ovum, now fertilization has occurred and we are in the process of making a baby. Okay, so even though ovulation typically happens within 12 to 48 hours, we have a whole period that is called the fertile window because sperms can stay up to 5 days in your body waiting for an egg to fertilize. So those of you that will be saying that I'm not ovulating, so I can do what I like. You never know. Okay, so your fertile window is usually about 5 days before to about 12 to 48 hours after ovulation. So that is what we usually call the fertile window. And if you are tracking your period or using period tracking apps, usually see that they will show you around that time that you're in your fertile window. So you have a high chance of getting pregnant. Okay. So when you're ovulating, what are some of the ways that you can support your body and what are some of the things that you expect to see? So, first of all, you expect that you have a very high sex drive. So, if at this point in time you are feeling tempted or every man is looking fine, it doesn't mean that you are now demon or you're a sinner or something. It's just your body trying to convince you to get the sperm. So, it's doing whatever it can to get the sperms to fertilize the egg. Okay. And also, you also expect that the energy that started climbing up from your follicular phase will keep climbing up. So this is where you will peak. So this is time that you feel your most confident, you feel your most sexy, you feel like you're on top of the world and like you can get everything you want because really you can really conquer the world, especially at this point in your cycle. For me, this is one of my most favorite times because you feel like you are that girl, right? And you start to feel your prettiest, you start to feel your sexiest and all. And this is usually what happens during your ovulatory phase. And also, if you are trying to get pregnant or you are trying to conceive, this would be the very best time to not let your man out of your sight. You have to make sure that at this point, you are following him everywhere. Don't let him out of your sight because this is the best time where you have the highest chance of getting pregnant. Okay. And if you don't want to get pregnant, please fear men. This is not the time to be associating yourself with men, unless, of course, you're using a contraceptive method. But even then, you have to be careful. Okay. Now, what are some of the exercises you can do or ways to take care of your body? So, this is where you do all your full burn workouts. You are doing your heavy liftings, like all the exercise that you need a lot of strength to do. Schedule them here. Okay, you are doing your intense workouts, you are doing your intense running, your swimming, everything. You want to practice new things, please do them at this point. And if you want to start something new, if you want to experience things for the first time, if you want some joy and happiness, anything that you are struggling to begin, when you're ovulating is the best time to actually start doing those things. But it's important to know that some things can actually go wrong. So during ovulation, for most people, they have these cramps, okay, these lower abdominal cramps, and we call them Mittelschmerz. So Mittelschmerz in German loosely translates to cramps, okay. So sometimes you feel this cramp when the egg is being released. It's normal, okay. But then if you're feeling too much pain, if you're having cramps that are just not going away, no matter what you do, these cramps, you shouldn't have to take painkillers to let them go away, okay? It just comes and goes. If it's getting too painful, you start noticing that you are bleeding in between your periods. So at the time where you should be ovulating, that is about 10 to 12 days before your next period, where you've tracked your cycle to know. But you realize that you are bleeding in between periods, please, you have to see a doctor. You have to find a way to get to the closest hospital. If you notice that you are spotting during, if you notice that you are bleeding, if you notice that you are just not feeling fine within your body, you have to find the closest hospital and visit. If you are spotting, if you're having any cramps that just won't go away, any headaches, any fevers during those periods, please, it is not very normal. So please see a doctor. Now, how do you know that you're ovulating? So when you're menstruating, you can see the blood to know that you're menstruating. When menstruation ends, you know that at least the cycle is beginning, so your follicles will start to mature. But ovulation, you need to know, but there's really no clear-cut way to know. Now, there's another way to check, that is your basal body temperature. Usually, it increases by a few degrees. For a lot of us, we don't really know our normal body temperature, so that can be a bit tricky. But if you are tracking your cycle, at least if you're able to track your cycle consistently for about 2 to 3 cycles, it will be very easy for you to estimate which point you are at in your cycle. And also, if you are able to study your moods and emotions, these are some of the pointers that will help you to know. Now, what are some of the things that you can eat? As always, at this point, you can also eat some of the things that you really like, because here you are still high. And you can also make sure that you're focusing on taking a lot of water. It's important to stay hydrated at this point. And also make sure you are taking foods that are rich in omega-3. So you want to be taking a lot more of your sardines, you want to be doing a lot more of your cod liver oil, a lot more of your green leafy vegetables as well. It's important to have your green leafy vegetables and be taking your proteins. It's good to take carbs, especially if you want to be doing a lot of exercise and be moving. But try to take a lot of complex carbohydrates. So not too much sugar. But complex carbohydrates are like your banku, your brown rice, bread, and all that. So that when you take it, the body takes a longer time to break it down and then release it to you as energy. And since you'll be moving about a lot and doing all those activities, you have an energy reserve for you. Okay. So this is not the time to be fasting. This is not the time to be saying that let me just cut down, please. If you are doing a lot of activity, you need to fuel your body and make sure that you burn everything that you are using. Okay, so this is all that I can share for now on ovulation. If you have any comments, if you have any things to say, you can put them in the comments. And if you have anything you want me to address, you can also ask about it. But please and please again, don't send me your problems to diagnose. We are not doing telemedicine here. So please, if you have any issues, if you're noticing any of the things that I've mentioned, you know what to do. Pack your bags, walk to the hospital, and tell your doctor about your conditions. As always, I'm your online big sister. My name is Dr. Chiaki. And feel free to come to me with anything that you like us to talk about. And if you want to share this with someone, go ahead. Don't forget to like, don't forget to repost. You never know who needs this. And if you are new here, welcome to our community of women who are learning about our bodies. You can always feel free to follow us and join the community. All right, till our next video, where we'll be talking about the dreaded luteal phase. Can't wait to see you. Bye.